The loose cannon's up nearly $140. Says he's going to fold every hand the rest of the match. Let's see if he changes his tune, if he starts picking up monsters.
Laak, sixes, raises to 2,000. Mercier, pocket pair.
Even though there's only 40 hands to go, Mercier bought in for $250,000 to make sure he can cover the biggest stack at the table.
He calls. Aces for the cannon. Still aces.
You can't make this stuff up. Let's see if he makes the raise.
He's thinking of set pedaling, boys.
Nice call, Laak.
He's thinking.
Throws him away.
What?
What was that one? It's over. Action's over.
Two to the flop. 6, king, 6 quads for Laak.
I can't believe it, Vance. David Fishman folds aces. Would have been outflopped by quads. If this happened in a movie, I would say it's too unrealistic.
Laak bets 3,300.
Welcome to the game, Jason Mercier.
Who quickly calls. The turn, jack of spades. Laak checks.
Laak's checking for deception. There's a chance the paint may give Jason more of a reason to get away from this on the river.
Mercier checks. Deuce on the river.
Laak's trying to decide how big a value bet Jason will call.
10,400.
Not quite an overbet, but a big bet. He's giving Jason the chance to put him on a bluff.
Mercier calls.
Hi-yah!
That's a sigh of relief.
I almost raised. Just kidding.
Fishman puts his head down so he can let all the bullets fly by.
It would be wrong to bet the turn, and I could go for a little check call on the turn.
A Laak's win has now put him in Profitville.
Yeah, on the turn, I knew I had a good hand, too.
That's why I lay down pocket jacks.
Did you really or no?
What was it?
Wouldn't necessarily
Pocket
be
aces.
bad fold.
No. Was it really? You had aces free flop?
No way.
I'd love to
He
see
didn't
that.
think forever and had this weird look. It's like, what? It's the first time he's tanked. Really?
They can't make fun of me now for laying down pocket aces pre-flop.
Mattis Muur has taken the chip lead from Mike McDonald. Mike's got a good hand on the button, ace-king, and he raises to 125,000.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. McDonald.
Mattis Muur's got queens in the small blind.
In the words of John Hurt from Spaceballs, oh no, not again.
As you'd expect, he re-raises. It's a 3-bet to 310,000. Gamez in the big blind. Folds. It's back on McDonald. Mike pulls back his initial bet and 4 bets. He re-raises to 700K.
They're both super deep, so I think just calling this is fine, and I also think 5-betting, aiming to get it in, is probably fine too.
Muur. Counting out a 5-bet. He elects to re-raise to 1,275,000. Mike shoves a 6-bet jam.
Mike could have called, but it would be a huge pot to have to fold to a flop bet, and he knows he's got blockers against aces and kings.
Hang on. Muur folds and shows the queens.
I don't want to say 5-bet folding queens is bad, but
Bad fold, probably.
bad is accurate. You know, when you look at Mike McDonald and his parents, you know he's never eaten a sandwich crust in his entire life.
I still can't quite believe he got Muur to fold those queens and got the free information to boot. Galen Hall, on the button, has posted the small blind and is first to speak. Looks down at 8-4 offsuit.
You can widen your range heads up and raise almost any 2 cards profitably from the button.
He's made it 450,000. Oliver has ace-deuce in the big blind. He'll make the call, and we will see a flop. The flop is 3-5 deuce. It's an up and down straight draw for Hall. Oliver still leads with a pair of 2s and a gut shot straight draw.
This is a good flop for Hall to continuation bet.
Oliver is checked to him. Hall makes a c-bet of 575,000.
Oliver won't be going anywhere.
Makes the call. The turn is the 2 of hearts. Trip 2s now for Oliver. Hall still has the straight draw. Oliver checks a second time.
He checks the best turn card in the deck so Hall can fire again.
But Hall checks behind.
Let's see the river card.
Hall makes a straight on the river, but Oliver has a full house.
The absolute worst card in the deck for Hall as he makes a wheel. How much money is he gonna lose is the real question.
Oliver sets the trap. He checks to him.
What a trap indeed. He's just praying his opponent has a 4, as he does.
Hall makes a value bet with his straight of 2 million.
That is a full pot size bet. Now it's going to be back on Oliver. He is contemplating exactly how much he can check raise. Galen Hall has 9.5 million chips behind. There are 4 million chips in the pot.
Chris Oliver shoves on Galen Hall. He's trying to end it here.
As wild as Oliver is, it's still highly unlikely he ever shows up with the stone cold bluff. If Oliver was bluffing, he could have made a standard check raise rather than the all-in.
Can Galen Hall get away from this?
Only if he dismisses the idea of Oliver turning missed diamonds or a pair into a bluff and interprets this all-in overbet as a pure value bet to end it all.
Oliver praying for a call.
That is a large bet.
Large, it's twice the pot.
If Galen Hall calls here with his straight, the tournament is over and Chris Oliver has won the 2011 PCA.
Oliver's image is telling Hall to call, call, call.
But something in his gut is telling him it doesn't add up, it's not right. And he makes the laydown! Galen Hall gets away from the straight. That is an amazing fold.
Since he realized he was chopping the pot at best, he cut his losses and made a spectacular fold.
Chris Oliver's fans applaud him. They don't know he wanted the call there.
Good fold, Galen. Good fold.
Thanks, guys.
And folded to online qualifier Andreas Samuelsson. Pocket fives.
Looks like Ike Haxton's Swedish cousin.
Looks like he's raising from under the gun +2. Samuelsson makes it 260,000. Shafikov folds. Tuma is out.
It's not a Tuma.
Rainer Kemper in the cutoff. Passes. Steve Warburton on the button. Has ace-king of diamonds.
I think we're very likely to see a 3-bet. Suited ace-king in position.
The black chips worth 100,000 each. Warburton 3-bets to 590,000.
They probably have too many chips to end up flipping.
Oh, John Juanda wakes up with kings in the big blind.
Well, this puts a whole new paint job on things.
That is a 4-bet from Juanda.
Should be a pretty easy fold now for pocket fives.
Yeah, Samuelsson gets out of the way. Action back on Warburton.
These two may have no problem getting it in.
Warburton shoves. 5.5 million. He's got Juanda covered. This is all in to call.
And call.
You have more than me, right?
3, 4, 4.5.
And call.
Yeah. You got it.
Did he misread his hand?
Juanda's genuinely thinking about this.
You look so confident, even took off your glasses.
It's a bit hot.
Ace-king suited's a confident hand.
You know, I said I was gonna fold if you move all in, but then
I have a face it's very difficult to fold to.
now you are talking so confidently. I know you have it.
I don't know. It is what it is, John.
But how can I fold these hands? Seriously. Jeez.
He's considering laying down kings.
Well, I think Steve's so confident because now it looks like Juanda definitely doesn't have it. Uh-oh.
You can only have ace king or aces.
That moment you realize your opponent might have kings.
If either you're a really good talker or you like.
I was just whatever.
Come on,
Juanda lays down kings.
Got a good hand. I've just put 5 million chips in. Obviously, I got a good hand.
I mean, there were still 3 aces in the deck. Maybe it's a brilliant fold.
I mean, I have to have it.
Depends on what your definition of it is.
Action on Phil Ivey. King Queen offsuit.
Queen. Good even under the gun.
He raises to 40,000. Gets a fold from Peter Chan. Fabian Quass is out. Ace-3 for Mike McDonald. He folds. Dan Cates has King-Jack of spades.
Dominated.
He calls on the button. Quark gives up the small blind.
Cool.
Low calls in the big blind with 10-6.
It's actually fine with the odds he was getting. So funny, Jungle Man can't even look at Ivey.
3-way to the flop. King-Jack 3, top 2 for Cates.
Check.
Low has a total bagolino. He checks.
Ivey could lose a lot of chips here.
He continues with top pair for 65,000.
Cates could smooth call this, or he could raise, knowing Ivey raised under the gun, and this is going to hit him a lot.
Looks like Cates is raising. Jungle Man makes it 165,000. And it's time for Low to go.
Shorty got low, 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 low. Low, low, low.
He folds.
Now, Jungle Man probably doesn't do this with ace-king, so he's either got 2 pairs and sets or some kind of big combo draw. Most folks ain't folding this to a single raise from an aggressive player. Ivey's spot is tougher than that math problem from Goodwill Hunting.
Wow, Ivey folds.
My boy's wicked smart.
Dan Cates chips up to over 2 million, but he did not get maximum value there. What a laydown from one of the best players of all time. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more awesome poker content. And check out this video. The YouTube algorithm seems confident you'll like it.